It's late and I will listen until I fall asleep. It's how I found you, Aavak. Your voice calmed me during a hard time in my life, and you're still doing it. Thanks. Oh, you're more than welcome, Kaiduk. I hope you have a good sleep, mate. Restful sleep. I will try to keep my frustrations at the duplicants to a very minimum and for a few hours, until I'm certain that you're asleep. But if you have weird dreams, that's probably why. Fortunately, the fun must end, because the game has to begin. Ah, well, it was fun while I... Oh, shush, you leafing. You scoundrel. Okay, so, we've got many things going on. I'm just going to start everything up so it realizes what's going on down. Ah, yeah, you know what? You can fix that, though. The liquid is stupid hot, though. Only it's that liquid is why this is the problem. Let's mop all of that up, and then it'll get a little bit better. Might even dribble down some new liquid in there. Have we really got steam over here? Let's have a look. This liquid is actually cool enough that we could dribble it in and cool these devices down. So let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Tonk, tonk, like that. We'll pump those priorities up to 8. Just get those done. But okay, let's have a quick review. So, Dapper Duplicant Dystopia. Currently in a food-positive state. Currently in an oxygen-positive state. Currently in a water-positive state. Also currently, and much to my dismay, in a heat-positive state. That is the problem that we are trying to resolve. It is in a power-negative state most of the time, but it has got enough to get by. People aren't dying during the cold spells, but... that's a very, very small, very small comfort, I'll be honest. We need to get this sorted. There's still parts of the map that could have volcanoes and things. Well, in fact, there's a huge chunk of the map that could still have something. But we've explored a decent chunk. I think we should probably sink some exploratory tunnels through the map just to see if we can't find ourselves a little bit of something. A little bit of something useful. Let's put her on a 6 priority. We don't want to get too high, but let's dig out a little bit further and see if we can't find something that'll be of particular use to us in further exploring this area. Now, I worry about sand. Sand in particular is a pain in the bum. So we'll just set that up so that we are not going to get caught in it. But it is possible we may find a couple of other geysers. There may be another natural gas geyser. A hydrogen geyser would absolutely be okay as well. Anything that can give me another buffer of power would be totally... You sneaky little devil, you! Thinking you can hide over here from me? Oh, you naughty, naughty boy. Let's get over there. You can never trust the game. It's gonna hide them. Now we've got a couple of sources of water. We've got a couple of steam vents that I haven't really tapped into yet that we're going to be able to use to generate a bit of extra cooling. Because again, any water that we've got is basically cooling to like 100 degrees. So, Aavak, are you saying that here his battery's not included? Well, yeah, more or less, actually. How soon until I go for lava-powered steam engine? Now, that's not something I've played with, so I would like to make use of what I've got up here first. Once I've got this up and running, and I'm using Regolith to generate steam, then we'll start looking at that. But until then, not gonna. We are probably going to be making as much use of water-generated energy as we can. Wherever we can. This is now dormant in 10 cycles, which is kind of awful if I'm honest, but, you know, it's a thing. The oil reservoir there will be useful. The oil reservoir here will also be useful for us. In fact, we should get to. Let's go ahead and get rid of all of that right now. And oh, actually, no, I'll keep that one. While we're here, let's delete all of that. There we go. We've got a lot of stuff around the map that we can use to help us with power. Now, really? I know that's not true. Both halted. Why? It's slowly checking the map and turning things on. That's fair enough. This game is simulating a lot of things, so doing little things like that to save on processing makes a lot of sense. Right, we're producing steam power from our industrial area. You know what I should really do is if the temperature of the coolant is above 95, then I should try and cool it. What I should really do, though, and this is something I haven't been doing, which is super dumb, I should be making use of this to cheaply heat this water. But I've got a bunch of stuff on the ground layer now that I do it basically. Quite the derp. If I moved this, my polymer press up, it would probably be better for me. Move that up as well, and then I could have the runoff from my smelters come down and then run along the bottom and then up. That way, I'm offloading a lot of this heat for free into the water that's there. Aavak, if you play with a lava engine, remember to build the boiler out of obsidian. Yes. Yes. Well, you know, basically I need to make it lava safe. Who has an explanation of this game and its mechanics that a toddler could understand? The wiki is probably the best answer you're going to get. Yeah, the relative ale there. Right, okay, so this is the main thing. Now, the reason for this stream, basically, is that I've been puzzling through the last 2 nights since the last stream on how to make this system better, and I think I've got a solution. Of course, my problem was the speed that fluid was flowing. I want fluid to be able to exit and enter the main cooling loop easier. It's quite important to me, in fact. That is something that we're going to be working on right now. Effectively, I need 2 tanks. One for the entry of new petroleum into the cooling loop, and one for the exit point of cooled petroleum. Of cooled coolant, because eventually it will be switched out for something better than petroleum, from the cooling loop. I am going to use flow control to allow motion. It won't be full packet motion, but it will allow liquids to move in and out of where they are as we're going. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to be operating with a system that's already being built, in use, which is not the best way of doing it, but it's, you know, it's what we've got, so we're just going to have to live with that one. While all of that's going on, I'm going to continue to strip this place down, because right now, this is cooling nothing. All of this petroleum can be used elsewhere. And I would like to. Very much so, in fact. But for the time being, this is okay. We will eventually be moving away from the thermo aqua tuners down here, and it'll all be running off one thermo aqua tuner over here, and it will gradually help. What's the temperature in this room? I mean, it's keeping it... It'll probably be keeping it around 75, whatever I've set it up to be used over here. Yeah, if it's below 70, it can move back in. So it'll spend most of its time around that range. I could bring it down to a much gentler 50 if I really wanted to, and that would use more power to cool the loop. But I think running that at what it can handle is a bit of a better idea. Also, the liquid that we're generating from the petroleum generators is of use and is being filtered back into the system. That does mean every now and then we're getting rather hot liquid entering. But because it's merging with a packet that already exists in most cases, that's fine. So it's coming out at 38 degrees, so it's adding 7 degrees of temperature. These tiny little packets are adding about 7 degrees to the overall temperature of the coolant, which is well within operational levels for us. What the... Why is there petroleum in the cooling loop? I mean, huh. I hadn't noticed that before. Well, I mean, there is petroleum down here That has crept in over time. We've got so much random gubbins in there. It's really a mess. You know what? Let's just sweep all of that up if we can, and help out a little bit. This pipe system is better than a subway map. Yes, as someone who did struggle initially to get my head around a subway map until I just, accepted that actually this bears no relation to the actual position of the subway in any way. And then once I just accepted that, it all made sense. But up until that point, subway maps were very confusing to me. Just needed to approach the problem from a different direction, that was all. But we have got a cool steam vent, so we're going to be able to get some extra water from over there. What priority did I make these? No, I want these to be 6s, if we can. Please and thank you. There we go. Now, my focus really has to be on getting this system built, though. This is by far the higher priority system. Don't really want to make things 9s, though. Let's make them 8s where I really want them built. Otherwise, it's going to be a real pain to get stuff up here. What I could do is I could make this conveyor accept iron ore and then just tell everyone to bring iron ore over. We'll see, but unfortunately, people aren't likely to bring too much. If I could get plastic enough to do this, then that would actually be quite nice as well. If we can get people up there a bit faster using the transit tube network, that would be pretty awesome. We're still maintaining a lot to do with the bristleberries. I'm starting to think that we probably don't need it. If I'm perfectly honest, we could probably get away with less worry about the bristleberries. I might dial it back even further. Let's have a look. Delete that. I think I'm going to dial it back to just 1. And I'm going to disable these buildings if I can. Let's turn them off for now. Don't need them. And that one can be shut down as well. Actually, well, yeah, we may as well just completely shut it down and uproot these ones too. There we go. We'll get that sorted. Kalalka, thank you very much for redeeming a naming game. What's the upper steam room for? Power. But, well, it's a kind of a 2-for-1. We have a renewable resource, and that is Regolith, and amongst other things that will drop down from space. I don't want these things to ever be brought into the base at their current temperature, which is many hundreds of degrees. So what I can do is I can have everything that is gathered up there loaded into a just loading that into a conveyor rail, bringing that down here, and then cycling through a steam room, dumping that heat off into steam, which then gets cooled and dropped back as to water, and just basically circling around, constantly providing, basically we'll be absorbing that heat energy and converting it to actual electricity. And once it's below a certain temperature, we shunt it out, and as far as the regolith goes, we immediately feed it to our shove voles, who are producing redonkulous amounts of meat for us right now. Their numbers are just continually increasing. In fact, let's bring up the colony report. Is there a way for me to... Colony summary, there we go. I would like to see the number of critters. Let's see. Duplicants, I mean, that's been... yeah, okay. Yeah. 3 deaths so far. Much sad. Critters. Domestic critters. This was about where the shovels happened. And it has been going up sharply ever since. These spikes were where we ran out of power. Yeah. And people were having to walk around without suits. But that problem's largely fixed now. But yeah, we're just constantly going up. We've currently got 79 domesticated critters. That's going to keep going up. And I'm completely okay with that. We're only farming the... We're not slaughtering the shovels in any way. We're just feeding them. We're waiting for them to die, and then we're taking the meat. Tommy Lee, yeah, I know. I could easily change it to a starvation ranch. But the thing is, I'd feel bad. I'm not going to pretend that it's anything else. I would feel bad if I wasn't at least making some effort to feed them. I'd super feel bad about that. James, thank you very much for the 22 months. Such an auspicious number. 22 months I've subbed now. Not in a row, but still. Thanks, Aavak. No, it doesn't matter whether it's in a row or not. Thank you very much for the support, mate. Many second month best months. But yeah. This is the problem. Getting the work errands. It's building that's the focus. Do we have anyone who has building as a high priority? Oh, yeah, we do. Snowfoot's the only one that does, though. Manu. Talk has digging. I could easily give Talk building. Building is the thing that I'm struggling with, so yeah, I'm going to give Talk building as well. Manu, can you do both? You're not quite as happy as Talk, but... 18 points. There we go. So Manu and Talk can now both do building as well as digging, so I'm going to change that up. Can I have... Can I order the duplicants based on the job? I can't. Oh, no, I think it has. No, it hasn't, but that's fine. I want building to be a higher priority for you than digging. Now, the issue here is that... Okay, we're going to do something I don't often do, and that is we are going to lower the priority of everything to create an extra priority spot. Everything lower than neutral is going to go down by 1. And storing is just when there's no other errand available. Store it. Pop it in somewhere. Now, this is a particular role that is built for that. So I don't want to drop that one in its priority. But... I am... Yeah, I'll leave tidying up there. Toggling as well. So that's giving me a... See, one of the things that I don't do much is I don't really use the priority system the way I should. There are, in effect, 5 priorities. Super low, low, neutral, high, super high. And like a quasi-priority of don't ever do it. But, you know, I don't really include that one. But I only ever really make use of 3 of them. I've got neutral, high, and super high. And I really shouldn't. I should make use of the full breadth of it. I should go all... I mean, occasionally I'll have low for some things, but very rarely. Very rarely. And I really shouldn't do that. I should make use of the full breadth of their priority system. It would make everything so much easier for me. Yeah, but you're not using the 9 part. How dare. How dare. No research focus, but honestly, I could, like... I don't want to take my scientist away from things. But at the same time, if I just finished off researching things, then at that rate, I could just take away my research stations again. At the very least, I'm going to need these 2 eventually. You know what, though? Sure. I'm gonna do the really compulsive thing, and I'm gonna use power that I don't have to do something I don't need. Don't judge me, Jack. Do I have enough steel to rebuild you? I do. Oh, I've got a lot of steel now. Wow. Okay. All right. Where is the pipe connector on this? It's in the middle. I could happily rebuild this over here. If 'twas my desire, which 'tis. We are still going to be dumping this out of the system. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, that is unfortunate. That needs to be done right now. Like super right now. Our chief builder is gonna die. Get out of there right now. Go. Don't worry about the fact your feet are covered in wee. Your lungs are not covered in oxygen, and this is a much bigger problem for you. Quickly, 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 quickly. Whomp. Take off your suit. Breath. Ah, thank heavens. Also, please mop. My lord. My lord. We do need a lot of these things carted out of here, though. Could we get everything that's not meant to be in here out of here for now? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say everyone can go through here, these doors for now. Oh. Oh. That would explain why Planeseeker hasn't... That would explain why Planeseeker hasn't been able to sleep. I thought that I just didn't have enough time for them to sleep, but no, I hadn't actually. This is the issue with making these rooms. Like, yeah, only the certain duplicants who live in this barrack are allowed in there. Yeah, when you forget to add them to the list of allowed duplicants. Yeah, so, that's a thing. Sorry, Planeseeker. I'm super, super bad. I am a bad Aavak and I feel bad. Right, but on that note, we should be able to get a couple of people doing some more work at least. We're actually making our way up there, which is good. Now, back to things that don't involve, you know, bad. You know what? Sure, we're just going to pipe this out. There's no reason to do anything else. Pop that in there. Oh, no. My bad. Sorry. Autosaves, why? I need to probably adjust the autosaves, actually. Now that it takes forever to get them done. This can go in here as well. Under priority 6. You can just live here. There we go. And then we just hook this up to power. Copper will do. You know what? I'm going to move this over. Purely so I can be lazy. It means I have to build more rail. But the power doesn't need to go as far. Does that matter? Is the rail more expensive than the power? Yes. Does it look meter? Kind of. And that's what I care about. I'm just going to drop the plastic out here. Because generally speaking, out here is not nearly hot enough for the plastic to have a problem. It's not exactly cool either, but, you know, it'll do. How much barbecue have we got here? Fried mushroom, omelette, barbecue, gristleberry, liquid pipe, carbon dioxide. Then in this case, I'm going to tell you to stop eating raw meat. Thanks. I suggest a mod that cuts out old data for the colony report. Oh, would that help? Yeah, of course it would. It probably would clear it out quite a lot. Aavak, I would have come sooner, but I was horribly distracted by... Snolbalex? Bolekes? Music and other weird Dutch music. Because, gosh, it's a bop. Okay. I hope... though I'm almost certain I got that word wrong. You should pop on the Dapper Discord server and link it in Gallery of Wonders so I can educate myself. I'll take some more curative tablets, sure. Now, we're not really producing much in the way of this water right now. As such, we're mostly sending it back down. This system would be better with an automated shut-off, but it's fine for the time being. Wow, okay. I guess that water did not help. It actually made the problem worse. Yeah, the water gathered so much heat that this couldn't vent it. Alright. Well then, let's pop that in there then. Get rid of the liquid again. We'll see how it goes. Got plenty of oil down here we can move around. Most of those machines can handle high temperatures, but the carbon scrubbers not so much. We have got so much natural gas. You know what? We might be okay. We might be okay in the coming natural gas drought. This hatch kind of needs to not be here though. And it makes me sad, but you're going to eat stuff that I don't want you to eat, so I'm afraid you need to die. Deeply saddening. Right. Oh wow, they've already done that. That's kind of impressive, actually. We're going to want to hook that up to gas output. The gas output doesn't really matter. None of the gas here is going to melt as a melt. None of the gas is going to condense from the heat here, so don't need to worry about it. But at this point, we can now delete this stuff. There you go. It doesn't really matter that these are on priority 5s. Look at Snowfoot go. Wow. Doing a lot of good work there. Now, there shouldn't be anything in here. Indeed, there is not. So, for the sake of the petroleum that we have in these pipes, I'm going to give a plumbing job to empty them. Reasonably high level. Then we are going to delete the input pipe there. I want to break down this system as quickly as we can so that we can replace it with a pipe from over here. And then we can just get that little bit more energy out of this liquid. In fact, at that point, I'm going to say that we want this to be in a constant flow. I think that would make a lot more sense. Okay, thank you. Now, let's go ahead and remove these buildings. There. Perfect. Remove the automation. All of it. Don't need any of that automation down here anymore. Because this is not the way that we're going to fill up the tanks up top. That was way long ago, but it is no longer the way now. What's the temperature? Only 150 degrees. Oof. We are dropping that temperature quite quickly, actually. Right, you need to... Well, I mean, I guess that's actually not so much of a problem, but... How much liquid is in there? 308 kilos of liquid, actually. Alright. Need to start pulling all of this down. As kind of a bit of a priority now, because it's a useless system that is only going to confuse everything else. Actually, no, we'll keep that one there because that is a way for us to send liquid back into the system at the top, which is where we are going to want it to go. We got a fair bit of fixing to do before all this is ready to go. Now let's have a look with a couple of extra builders if this is... It's not moving any faster. It really won't until I stop giving them so many other jobs. Frustrating though it is.